Today is February 9th, 2021, and I'm making this video because just today the Senate impeachment trials began. Now, I said a while ago that I wouldn't make any more videos on this topic, mainly because of the fact that I already knew, even back then when I made that video, that the Senate would not vote to convict Donald Trump of wrongdoing. Now, because Donald Trump is already out of office, he's already no longer the president. Now Joe Biden's the president of the US. So it may seem like the Senate impeachment trials are useless because of the fact that you can't really kick Donald Trump out of office if he already finished up his term as president. He's not serving a second term. Joe Biden's the current president, so what sense does it make to convict him if he's already out of office? But the argument that people who support convicting Donald Trump in the Senate, the arguments that he would lose out on several benefits that former presidents usually get if they have not been convicted of wrongdoing. So far in United States history, no president has ever gotten convicted by the Senate. Three presidents, including Trump, have gotten impeached by the House of Representatives, but none of them ever got kicked out by the Senate. The closest that any president ever came to getting kicked out of the presidency was with Andrew Johnson. This was right after the Civil War ended, after he became president. This was after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. But the Senate was one vote away from kicking Andrew Johnson out of office. In order for the Senate to kick a president out of office, at least two-thirds of the members in the Senate need to vote to kick out the president. At least two-thirds of the members in the Senate need to give a yes vote on conviction. But at the time, there were 54 senators serving in the Senate. Only 35 of those 54 senators voted to kick out Andrew Johnson out of office, voted to convict Andrew Johnson, but 36 votes were needed in order for the conviction to go through. Two-thirds of 54 is 36, so the Senate was one vote away in that instance from kicking a president out of office. No president has ever been kicked out of office. No president has ever been convicted by the Senate. And I don't think that Donald Trump will be the first president to get convicted by the Senate. Now, obviously, Trump can't get kicked out of office. He's already out of office, but I still don't think that Trump is going to become the first president to get convicted by the Senate in an impeachment trial because I think that there are too many Republican senators that are still on Trump's side for the conviction to actually go through. Like I talked about this in the last video I made on this topic, only 45 Republican senators were even on board with going through the Senate impeachment trials at all, let alone voting to convict Trump. So only 55 senators said that they were even fine with the impeachment trials going through. Now, that was still more than 50, and that's why the impeachment trials are able to go on now. But the fact that you had that many senators that didn't even want the trial to happen, let alone wanted to convict Donald Trump, the fact that 45 senators didn't want the trial to happen at all, that I think was enough evidence for me to come to the conclusion that the Senate is not going to vote to convict Donald Trump, and I still believe that. I don't think that enough Republican senators will vote along with the Democrats to convict Donald Trump, because, like I said earlier, you need two-thirds of the senators voting to convict Donald Trump in order for the conviction to actually go through. Assuming that all 100 senators take a vote on this, that would be 67 senators. Currently, there's 50 Democrats in the Senate, so if every Democrat votes to convict Trump, which I assume will happen, I think every Democrat is going to vote to convict Trump. I can't imagine any Democrat voting to not convict Trump in the Senate, but you also need 17 Republicans in the Senate to go along with the 50 Democrats to vote to convict Trump, and I cannot perceive that happening. I don't think that it's going to be 17. I don't think that there's going to be 17 or more Republican senators that side with the Democrats on this. Maybe five or six Republicans side with the Democrats. I made a prediction video a few weeks ago talking about how I thought the outcome of the Senate impeachment vote would go. In that video, I said that if the Senate vote for impeachment happens, for conviction, sorry, for Donald Trump's conviction, if that vote happens after Ossoff and Warnock take office, they are the newly elected senators from Georgia. I said in that video, if the vote happens after they take office, then in total 56 senators would vote to convict Donald Trump, meaning every Democrat and 6 Republicans. I still think that that's a pretty accurate guess on my part. I will stand by that guess that I made earlier, stand by that prediction, because I think it's going to be somewhere around 56 senators that vote to convict Trump. Maybe slightly less. It might honestly be only 54 senators. I mean, definitely every Democrat will vote to convict, and at least a couple of Republicans will. How many Republicans will it be? I'm not sure, but it's definitely not going to be 17. I'm going to tell you that much. It'll be somewhere between 3 and 10, probably. 2 and 10 at least, somewhere in that range. I don't think it's going to be above 10. I don't think it's going to be below 2 either. I'm pretty sure Mitt Romney's going to vote to convict Trump, and most likely Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski will as well. There's a few others that are up in the air at this point, but at the least, every Democrat is going to vote to convict Trump, and probably a couple of Republicans. So I still stand by my prediction: 56 votes to convict Donald Trump. That's the number of votes conviction will get in the Senate. So even though the chances of conviction actually working against Trump, the chances of Donald Trump actually getting convicted by the Senate, the chances are really low, I think. Even though that's basically impossible, the chance of that happening, I still think that the chances are a lot better than the impeachment trials that took place a year ago in February of last year, February 2020, right before the pandemic happened. I think that those impeachment trials were doomed to fail from the start. You didn't really have any Republicans at all even willing to side with the Democrats on this. The only Republican that voted along with the Democrats to convict Donald Trump back in February of last year was Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney was the one Republican senator who voted to convict Donald Trump in the Senate, but every other Republican voted no, not to convict Donald Trump, not to kick him out of office. Even Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, who are pretty moderate Republican senators who are not that far right, they're basically center right. Even these two senators voted against convicting Donald Trump of wrongdoing, against kicking Donald Trump out of office. But I think that the chances of both of these senators voting to convict Donald Trump this time around is pretty likely, definitely a lot more likely than it was last time around. I think that the wrongdoing that Trump did this time around to many of the senators, especially some of the Republican senators, is a lot more clear, a lot more obvious to them than it was a year ago back during the February 2020 Senate impeachment trials. It was January and February 2020 when the last year's Senate impeachment trials took place, but I think that even though almost certainly conviction is not going to pass through in the Senate, the chances of that happening this time around are definitely a lot better than the chance that they would have happened last time around.